Section 4.1, graphing equations in slope-intercept form. Essential question. How do you write an equation when you are given a slope and an intercept? Alright, so write the equation in slope-intercept form, then graph. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M is our slope, b is our y-intercept, or where our line crosses the y-axis. So if I'm going to write this equation, I'm going to start with y equals my slope, which goes first in for m, is 3/4. Don't forget to put the x after that. And then my b, the y-intercept, is -2. So this is my equation in slope-intercept form. Now I'm going to graph it. I always graph my y-intercept first, which is -2. Remember, your first point will always go on your y-axis. So if you ever make your first point not on your y-axis, you did something wrong. Then you're going to rise your top number, the 3, and run the bottom number, 4, of your slope. So from the -2, I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, run 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here. And if I check that, I did rise 3, and I ran 4. So that's how I got my second ordered pair. Slope is -1/2, y-intercept is 3. So y equals my m, my slope, is -1/2, and I always put the negative with the top number if I have a fraction. My y-intercept is +3. So I'm going to make my first point on the y-axis, and that's my +3. And then from there, I'm going to rise -1, run 2. So rising -1 means going down 1, and then to the right 2. Down 1, and to the right 2. Slope is 5, y-intercept is -7. So y equals, slope is 5, so that goes in front of the x. Y-intercept is -7. Put my first point at -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then remember, 5 is the same as 5/1. So rise 5, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 1. All right, this time we have a slope of -5/7 and a y-intercept of -2/3. Now remember that -2/3 is the same as -0.6 repeating. And if I think about which two integers that falls between, -0.6 repeating would fall between the two integers 0 and -1. So I'm going to still make my first point on the y-axis, it's just not going to be a nice ordered pair. I'm in between 0 and -1. From this point, I'm going to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm kind of in between nice ordered pairs on that one, but that is okay. All right, now I need to write an equation for the line. I'm still going to write it in slope-intercept form. So if you're taking notes on this, I would graph two of the ordered pairs, so 0, 3, and 3, 1. So I'm going to count my slope first, so I'm rising down 2, and then to the right 3. So my slope is -2/3, and then my line crosses the y-axis right here, which is at +3. Second one, two ordered pairs you can graph, 0, -1, and 1, 2. So y equals, count my rise first, so rise 3, run 1, so 3/1 is the same as 3, and my line crosses the y-axis right here at -1. So y equals 3x minus 1. All right, so my first ordered pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 0, 5. My second ordered pair is 2, 4. So I'm going to write my equation, y equals, so I'm going to go down 1 over 2. So negative 1/2 is my slope. And my line crosses the y-axis right here, which is at positive 5. All right, now we have a horizontal line. So I would graph 0, 2. Then I'll pick one more point on my line, 3, 1. So count my rise and run. So I'm rising 0, running 3. And then my line crosses the y-axis at 2. Now 0 over 3 is the same thing as just 0, but we never write zeros in math. 0x pretty much just doesn't exist. So your equation is just y equals 2. Remember that a horizontal line always has a slope of 0. And then finally, a vertical line. So my ordered pair there is at 3, 0, and another one would be 3, 2. Now this time we have a vertical line. So if I try to count my slope for a vertical line, I'm rising 2 and running 0. Now anything over 0 is undefined. So this line is going to be written differently. You'll notice what's in common between my ordered pairs is that 3. My x value is 3. So our line is crossing the x-axis at positive 3, so we just write it as x equals 3. Our line never crosses the y-axis, so we don't even have an equation similar to all the others. The way we write this equation is x equals 3. Summary.